Since you were a kid, the significance of going to a good college has been ingrained in you. The mantra, repeated endlessly, whispers a simple equation. Dedicate yourself, excel in your grades, and unlock a future of security and success. The weight of those words has guided your every step. It's a seductive promise, but beneath the facade of higher education lies a sinister truth. Once, higher education held the key to a brighter future, but now it has become tainted by greed and exploitation.
National student debt problem has grown to $1.5 trillion.
This colossal sum fuels the very existence of these colleges. Students are entangled in an abyss of crippling debt, while the academic elite and financial institutions reap trillions. But it wasn't always like this. When did putting kids through college become a broken billion-dollar business? And more importantly, how do we fix it?
Once upon a time, people didn't borrow money to go to college. Nobody borrowed money to go to college.
Students had to get a summer job and work their way through school. That's because during the 60s, student loans didn't exist. Even if students wanted to take out a loan, nobody would lend a penny to an 18-year-old with no assets and no credit history. The Vietnam War changed all that. It sparked a movement for youth rights. People thought if 18-year-olds were old enough to die in Vietnam, they were old enough to vote. So in 1971, the voting age was dropped to 18. This was a gift for politicians, a fresh batch of impressionable minds ripe for the picking. To secure these new votes, politicians dangled the ultimate carrot, education. The politicians said, you shouldn't have to work while in school. So the government started the Federal Student Loan Program, which allowed students to easily take out loans for college, graduate, secure a good job, and repay the loan. It was perfect until it wasn't.
Once the colleges saw that all these kids could borrow money to go to college, well, they were like, this is great. I'm just going to raise prices.
With students having more money than ever before, they find themselves more willing to spend. Meanwhile, colleges enjoy zero risk. Even if students default on their loans, the government would pony up the cash. In order to get the votes of the students, the government started raising the limits on how many loans they would guarantee. With the promise of more financial assistance, the student loan limit has seen multiple increases over the years. The most recent increase was in 2022, when the maximum amount of federal student loans that undergraduate students can borrow was raised from $57,500 to $125,000. The maximum amount of federal student loans that graduate students can borrow was also raised from $138,500 to $200,000. Colleges found a golden ticket to escalate tuition fees. They engaged in a cutthroat competition to showcase the most extravagant amenities.
From there, you'll find yourself in the jungle gym, complete with the torches to welcome you into our cardio gallery, not to be outdone by Tiger Lair. Tiger Lair is our spinning studio, and it is outstanding, especially with its mural work done by that international artist, Lampo. And then Zoo Life, which is our in-house day spa.
Meanwhile, the cost of education soared to unprecedented heights, leaving students burdened with crippling debt.
As tuition goes up, it's like, oh, nobody can afford to go to college. We need more loans. So the loans themselves became the reason that people needed the loans.
Check out this great golf course.
Every hole has its own personality.
That's nice. But what's wrong is that this luxury is subsidized by taxpayers.
In 2009, politicians decided to cut out banks and have the government issue student loans directly. The Student Aid and Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2009 transformed how student loans were handled. Students started borrowing straight from the government, but it also meant taxpayers became responsible for funding these loans.
Education is my top priority, and by supporting this budget, you'll make it yours as well.
So your hard-earned money directly supports a system plagued by crippling college debt.
Everyone must pay more because colleges get tax breaks, government grants, and government loans.
Their entire business model is actually dependent on the taxpayer.
Colleges operate as ruthless money-making machines. what once symbolized intellectual pursuit and enlightenment has been overshadowed by profit-driven agendas. Harvard, a renowned institution, boasts a staggering tuition fee of around $80,000 per year. With 35,276 students enrolled, that translates to a jaw-dropping $2.82 billion in tuition revenue alone. Not only that, Harvard, like many colleges, enjoys tax-exempt status, meaning billions of dollars escape taxation. But here's the catch: tuition is not even their main source of revenue. Take a look at the chart and you'll see that tuition constitutes just 21% of their revenue. The real cash cow lies elsewhere: endowments. What is an endowment? Endowments are funds that sustain colleges through charitable donations. Colleges historically have used this money to provide for teaching, research, and public service missions. While it may sound like a noble cause, endowments too have been corrupted. At its core, endowments are disguised hedge funds.
Yale's endowment is $31 billion. Harvard's is even more.
Harvard could afford to pay their $50,000 a year tuition for their 6,000 students. You know for how long? Not 10 years, not 30 years, not 50 years, 120 years for free and not asking for another penny.
While students drown in more than $1 trillion of debt, colleges hoard wealth fueled by donations and lucrative investments in private equity and venture capital.
So taxpayers lose, students lose.
I owe $108,137.
The winners are rich colleges.
Colleges lure students with the promise that after 4 years of pursuing their passions, they will secure a good job and swiftly pay off their debt. They sell the college degree as a direct path to a fulfilling career and the American dream of middle-class success. However, this is very different from reality. College education is plagued by a significant issue. The information students learn often proves to be either irrelevant or outdated when it comes to securing a job in their chosen field. The outdated nature of college education stems from teachers lacking real-world experience in their subjects. Much of what they teach is rooted in their own schooling, which could be a decade or more behind the times. A good example of this would be a professor teaching students about marketing and the different forms of print and radio advertising. While marketing is still a very high demand field that has many open jobs, this information might have only been relevant 20 years ago. With marketing evolving into a technical and analytical field, students suffer from irrelevant knowledge, while professors lack practical expertise. In a rapidly changing landscape, traditional colleges no longer hold a monopoly on relevant education. Various online education platforms offer up-to-date and practical information at a much more affordable price. For example, individuals who invest just $500 and dedicate 1 month to an online education program like Course Careers are outcompeting college graduates for jobs. To master fast-paced fields, people need to break free from the confines of traditional education and embrace the dynamic opportunities of online learning. When you are paying for college, you are not just paying for the education. While it holds undeniable value for regulated professions such as medicine, law, for the rest of us, education is abundant and accessible in countless forms, like online learning. What truly holds value is the network, the college alumni, classmates, and the prestigious brand of your degree.
Because when most everyone goes to college, that just raises the bar.
However, the once elite status of a college degree is fading as it becomes more accessible and the number of graduates rises, diminishing its value. In the 1960s, having a college degree put you in the upper echelon of society. Approximately 8.7% of the adult population in the United States held a bachelor's degree or higher. Now, there is an enormous number of people with college degrees circulating in our economy. Around 53.7% of the adult population in the US have a bachelor's degree or higher. As more and more degrees are handed out each year, their value decreases. The abundance of degrees makes them less valuable, and yet their price continues to rise.
More students apply to college, so schools raise tuition. Tuition cost has risen at triple the rate of inflation.
President Biden's student loan forgiveness program holds the promise of relief for struggling borrowers. With up to $10,000 in debt relief for lower income earners and a generous $20,000 for Pell Grant recipients, it offers a glimmer of hope. Federal student loans such as direct loans, FFELs, and Perkin loans are eligible for this program, but private student loans are not covered, leaving some borrowers in limbo. While legal challenges loom over its implementation, the program symbolizes the administration's commitment to tackling the student debt crisis head-on. Will it become a reality? The answer remains uncertain, but the potential impact is undeniably significant. Degrees are more expensive than ever, while being worth less and less. Gone are the days when a college degree guaranteed success. In this digital age, the power of knowledge lies at your fingertips. Why burden your wallet and spend years chasing a traditional education when there's a better way? Embrace the future of learning with online education, cheaper, more accessible, and always up to date. That's why I was so happy to come across Course Careers and give you guys a little freebie. Recently, tech careers have been looking more and more attractive, and you guys know that I've been cooperating with Course Careers for a very long time. If you want to start a high-paying career in the technology industry but don't have previous experience or a degree, then Course Careers is here to help. They're replacing college as the modern way people are starting careers. And it's so simple. All you do is go through an affordable online course where you learn everything required to actually do the job. Then they help you land a position by partnering with a wide range of tech companies who are hiring from them. Check out some of their stories of people like Kyle, who went from being a 37-year-old assembly line worker in Indiana pressing buttons with no degree to making over $150K in a medical technology sales career, or Della, who served duty in the military and didn't know what to do afterward, to making over $100K as a cybersecurity tech sales rep working fully remote. Go to coursecareers.com, link is in the description as always, to sign up for their free introduction course where you'll learn exactly how you can start a high-paying technology career without a degree or previous experience. Don't just adapt to the changing landscape, thrive in it.